I brought up the the long walk on Tuesday, the last stream, and then I didn't tell you anything about it. I'll tell you something about it now. Okay, so what it is in this universe, every year there's a long walk. They put out a call to um, every male. I believe it's between 18 and 21, if I remember correctly, to go on this walk. It starts May 1st every year in Maine, and it just keeps going until there's only one left. Um, the idea is once the walk starts, you have to maintain 3 miles an hour, and there's no sitting, there's no resting. If you want to go to sleep, you better sleep 3 miles an hour, or you're gonna get your ticket. There's 4 warnings. The fourth warning, you get your ticket. Who maintains all these rules is the military, the squad. They drive with the group, and they measure everybody's walk, and everybody who goes below 3 miles an hour, they get a warning, and the fourth one, you get your ticket. You can work off your warnings for an hour. So let's say you have 3 warnings. Every hour you walk after that is reduced by a warning until you have no more warnings. Um, Also, it's 100 people that walk, and only one can win. And the prize is literally whatever you want for the rest of your life. And that sounds like a great prize, except I think people don't really realize, they don't really realize what it is until they're walking. Like, they don't realize they're going to make friends with these people. They're going to end up in friend groups, because that's what human beings do. They're going to bond with these people, share life stories, and then realize they cannot win together. That there will only be one winner. And then people are telling their stories, and then it's dawned on them during the story why they even signed up for the walk to begin with. And let's be real, this is a agonizing and kind of slow suicide. Is what it is. And if you don't realize that until you're walking, then that's just too bad. Because the only way to tap out is to tap all the way out. You can't just go, time out, I'm going home. No. It's also a national thing. It's televised. And in the book, it feels like this walk is going on for like months and months and months. Stephen King is really good about that, right? But the reality is that it really only goes on for about 4 days. They walk day and night. Whether it storms, doesn't matter. You want to go to sleep? Well, sleepwalking, because you're not checking into a hotel to go to bed. They pass out canteens. Whenever you want a canteen, they'll give you another canteen, keep you hydrated, and they give you what they call concentrates. It's on a belt. You wear it around like a tool belt. They're like tubes of food you squeeze into your mouth, like cheese and like meat concentrate, and then they'll have like crackers, peanut butter. You only get one of those a day. If you lose your bout, too bad, because you're not getting another one until tomorrow, unless one of the other walkers takes pity on you and shares, which mostly they're not, because they need it. And if you get a cold and you end up tapping out, that just is what it is. You get a Charlie. You watch people die from things. Not watch, but when you're reading the book, people are dying from things that they would not normally die from. Like if you get a cold and you're at home, you'll get over it and whatever. But cold's a killer during the long walk. Cramps are killers. Blue balls, killers. If you trip and you skin your knee, killer. Because you can't put a band-aid on it. You can't stop and rest your knees. If you get a headache, that headache could be an aneurysm, killer. I mean, people would drop dead from heat strokes, and you just and King writes it in a way to that even the reader doesn't quite get it until you're more than halfway the story of how crazy this all is, how heinous it all is. The reality is for 100 people, you are literally going to be walking for the rest of your life. And the rest of your life, for some people, is going to be a couple hours, a day, 2 days, 3 days. And the walk is so long, they tend to walk out of states. And make no mistake, there a bridge even goes out. They got all excited that maybe they're going to be able to take a rest while the bridge was being rebuilt. No, that did not happen. The military, they made makeshift. They like downed trees and made sure that walk kept going. And it was like really bad for morale. And then you read how the the morale suddenly tanking completely destroyed their will to live, many of them. And then um, the domino at first the weakest ones drop quick, like within the first 24 hours. But the strongest ones, they all want to live. You're watching people after 3 days, they look like skeleton. Not watching, but you're reading it. See, his writing is so good. I remember it as like a movie, a story in my mind, not as something that's written. But they look like skeletons, and then also at the beginning, there's not much of a crowd because they want the walkers to focus. But after a while, there's like a crowd, like butt to gut, all the way to the end. And there's a point when they don't care about anything anymore. You just walk. You just keep walking and you try desperately to survive. And the book is heavy. It's very heavy. For what it is, you wouldn't think it should be that heavy, but it really is. And it's one of the books that I read. I mentioned the last stream. Like if I'm lost and I don't know what to do, I read that book. It puts it all right back in perspective quick. Because a lot of people, because you're right there with them, you're in that same emotional headspace.